Welcome to the ultimate test of wit and wisdom. Get ready to embark on an exhilarating journey of trivia, brain teasers, and mind-boggling challenges. It's time to buckle up and brace yourselves for an electrifying experience like no other. So grab your thinking caps, sharpen those pencils, and prepare to unleash your inner genius. Think you know which mountain reigns supreme? Mount Everest may grab headlines, but there's a hidden giant lurking beneath the waves. Which mountain is the tallest in the world, despite Everest's fame? A. Mount Kilimanjaro. B. Mount Mauna Kea. C. Mount McKinley. D. Mount Elbrus. It's letter B.
Mount Everest might be getting all the attention, but Mauna Kea in Hawaii is technically the tallest mountain in the world. Measuring over 33,000 feet from base to summit, the only thing holding Mauna Kea back from the title is that it's mostly underwater.
Okay, moving on. Which celestial body is wider than Australia? A. The Sun. B. Saturn. C. The Moon. D. Jupiter. It's the letter C.
Australia is wider than the Moon. The Moon has a diameter of over 2,100 miles, while Australia's diameter from coast to coast is almost 2,500 miles. While it may be wider, the Moon wins with the land area, over 15 million square miles. Whew, that's huge. And all that cheese.
If you had to guess, what would you say that anetiphobia is? The fear of A. Dogs. B. Spiders. C. Ducks or geese. D. Heights. Did you say the letter C? Then you got it right.
Anetiphobia is the fear that, at any point, somewhere in the world, a duck or goose may be watching you. The person isn't necessarily afraid that the duck or goose will get too close to them or even touch them. They just don't like the feeling of being watched. It was first described in a comic strip to show how anyone can be afraid of anything. Anything can be a phobia. A duck just watching my every move would certainly give me the heebie-jeebies. I might just quack up.
I know this will sound super weird, but there is an animal that is known for its ability to recognize people's faces and hold grudges. Which animal would you say that is? A. Dogs. B. Cats. C. Crows. D. Squirrels. It's the crows, ladies and gentlemen.
Crows are pretty good at recognizing people's faces and have even been found to remember people for a long time. This could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how nice you are to them. You don't want to come across a crow that's holding a grudge against you. You probably can't tell which crow is which very easily, so it might be better to play it safe and just give them all a little wave.
When we look at the sun, it's the same as saying we are looking back in time, since the light takes so long to travel from the sun's core to its surface. How long, though, do you think it takes? A. 10,000 years. B. More than 1,000,000 years. C. An afternoon. D. Billion of years. It's long, but it's not that long.
A photon, the most basic part of light, takes thousands, maybe millions of years to travel from the sun's core to its surface. But it only takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds on average to get to your eye once it's at the surface. That means that the sunlight we see is very ancient, older than the human race itself.
In Italian, when they have to say the plural of something, what letter do they use for that? A. I. B. U. C. O. D. S. If you know you're Italian, you know it's I.
A single strand of spaghetti onto your fork has a name. It's called a spaghetto. In the Italian language, an I at the end of the word means that it's plural, while an O is singular. This goes for all types, like gnocco instead of gnocchi, fettuccino instead of fettuccine, and raviolo for a single parcel of goodness.
What interesting features do dolphins have that almost nobody knows about? A. They have names for each other. B. They can communicate with humans. C. They are telepaths. D. They have feelings. It's the letter A.
Dolphins not only have names for each other, but they'll call out for their friends specifically. Makes you wonder what names dolphins have for us when we get in the water. Hey, look, Frank, those hairless monkeys are back in the water again.
During flights, our taste and smell senses are reduced drastically. But how much would you say they actually reduce? A. 90%, B. 10%, C. 70%, D. Around 30%. The last option is the most accurate one.
Our taste and smell senses are cut down by 50 to 20% during flights. This is why airplane food always tastes like cardboard or too salty. Sounds like a pretty convenient excuse from the airlines to me.
There is a secret ingredient in wristwatch advertisements. Most watches have their pointers set to the same time. Can you guess what time they are pointing to? A. 10:10, B. 12:30, C. 6:30, D. 4:15. Tricky one, huh? But hey,
Look at any watch advertisements, and the time on display should be 10:10. This is because of the positive effect it has. It looks like a smile, and usually the brand name of the watch is directly below the 12.
if you had to guess how many letters the longest word in English has, how many letters would you guess? A. 292 letters, B. 1,034 letters, C. 189,819 letters, D. 213,456 letters. And the answer is letter C.
The longest English word is a crazy 189,819 letters long. I won't spell it out here, but it's the full name for the large protein nicknamed Titan. To say this out loud would take over 3 hours. So grab a snack and settle back, because we're going to be here for a while. Nah, I wouldn't do that to you. Eunoia, at 6 letters long, is the shortest word in the English language that contains all 5 main vowels. Eunoia means beautiful thinking or well mind. It's rarely used these days in the medical field. And if you add 2 of them, you'd then have a para-eunoia.
I know this next one is quite sad. There is an animal out there known as the loneliest animal in the world. Can you guess what animal it is? A. A whale, B. A grasshopper, C. A rhino, D. A puma. And the answer is letter A.
The loneliest creature on Earth is a whale that's been calling for a mate for a long time. Researchers identified the whale's abnormally high call decades ago, and is believed to have never received a response. The unknown whale is called lonely because it communicates at a frequency not used by any other whale in the Pacific Ocean. How sad.
The world is going green and people are owning more and more bicycles. If you had to guess how many bikes there are in the world, how many would you say there are? A. 1 billion, B. 2 million, C. 100 million, D. 999,000. Did you say 1 billion? Then you got it right.
The first machine that looked like a bicycle was built in 1817. But in more than 200 years, scientists still haven't fully understood how it works. Take the wheels. They're just too thin. Put a bike on a flat surface, release it, and it'll simply fall on its side. It was thought that the bicycle balanced because of the cyclist. They work the pedals and turn the handlebar to avoid the fall. When a bicycle accelerates, it becomes very stable. Most of us have tried to ride with no hands on the bar at least once. So the cyclist is important for balance, but they don't solve this physical riddle.
Where was the German chocolate cake invented? 1, 2, 3, go! A. Germany. B. Croatia. C. United States. D. France. And the correct answer is the United States.
German chocolate cake is one of the most delicious cakes out there. It's my all-time favorite. But its name has nothing to do with the country at all. Named after an American baker called Samuel German, who made the tasty treat in 1852.
Some species of birds are known to be great mimics of human sounds. But there is one bird that is the ultimate champion in this regard. Which one do you think it is? A. Lyrebird. B. Parrot. C. Crow. D. Mockingbird. It's the lyrebird. It can mimic almost any sounds it hears, including chainsaws.
The Australian species not only copy other birds, but other animals too, like koalas and dogs. In captivity, they'll also copy artificial sounds, such as car alarms, trucks, and chainsaws.
If you had to guess the distribution of the world's population between hemispheres, what would you say the proportion is? A. 40% in the northern hemisphere, 60% in the south. B. 80% north and 20% south. C. 90% north, 10% south. D. 25% north, 75% south. The correct answer is the letter C.
The northern hemisphere holds roughly 90% of the world's population. No wonder the streets are so crowded up here.
Other than birds, what type of animals do you believe have beaks? A. Octopuses. B. Snails. C. Snakes. D. Cougars. The correct answer is letter A.
Octopuses and squids have beaks like birds. The beak is made of the same material that our fingernails are made of, keratin. They can also fit through anything that their beak can, making them the ultimate escape artists. Not you, Houdini.
You've probably heard that only a small percentage of the universe is made of matter. But what would that percentage be? A. 5%. B. 1%. C. 10%. D. 25%.
Only 5% of the universe is made of matter. Those are stars, intergalactic gas, asteroids, planets, you, and me. 27% of the universe is dark matter. This substance can't be seen through a telescope. The remaining 68% is dark energy. Scientists think the universe has been expanding since the Big Bang and doing it faster and faster.
Listening to a good song can go a long way. It may help with stress levels since it releases an important hormone. Which hormone is that? A. Dopamine. B. Steroids. C. Cortisol. D. Thyroid. The correct is letter A.
When you listen to your favorite track, your brain releases the dopamine hormone, also known as the feel-good hormone. Scientists understand how it works, but they don't know why such an abstract thing as music attracts us and influences our behavior. From an evolutionary point of view, this makes no sense.
We spend a lot of time sleeping and therefore dreaming. I'm not talking about daydreaming and making surreal plans about how to change the course of your life. I'm talking about the dreams you have while you're fast asleep. How much of our lives do we spend doing that? A. Half of it. B. Less than 10%. C. 1/3 of it. D. 40%. It's the letter C, y'all.
We spend a third of our lives dreaming. Researchers from all over the world have been studying the nature of sleep for over 100 years, but they failed to answer a simple question. Why do we have to sleep? Some think our bodies generate proteins and build muscles in sleep. Perhaps during a night's rest, we remove toxins and harmful substances from our bodies. Others believe sleep restarts our brain, just like the reset button on a computer.
Now that we're headed towards the end of our quiz, let's bring up some serious questions. We all know that water is the main component of our planet, but how many cubic miles of water is there on Earth? A. Over 300 million. B. Around 1 million. C. 1 billion. D. Over 2 billion. I told you this one was tricky, but the correct answer is the letter A.
Water is everywhere on our planet. Without rivers, oceans, or clouds, life on Earth wouldn't have developed. 60% of your very body is water too. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, there are 326 million cubic miles of water on our planet. It covers 72% of the surface, but because of the salt, only 3% of it is drinkable. Scientists don't know how water appeared and why there's so much of it. Some of them think it came to Earth with meteorites. Others claim that volcanoes helped us. During their eruption, water vapor in the atmosphere condensed and hit the Earth in the form of rain.
This will definitely bug your mind. Where is the original London Bridge located in the world today? A. Paris. B. Arizona. C. Edinburgh. D. Cusco. The correct answer is Arizona.
If you're heading to London to see the famous London Bridge, think again, as the original bridge is now in Arizona. By the 1960s, London Bridge was falling down. Really? And so the city decided to sell it to an American oil tycoon, Robert P. McCullough. It was disassembled, each piece labeled, shipped over to the U.S., and reassembled. It can now be found in Lake Havasu City.